In the small, weathered house at the edge of town, Mary found herself alone and restless. Her husband had passed away years ago, and her children had long since moved away, leaving her with nothing but the echoes of memories that whispered in the dark corners of her mind. The attic, that dusty, cobwebbed realm of forgotten things, had always been a place she'd avoided. But one sweltering summer day, as boredom gnawed at her like a persistent rat, she decided to confront the past. With a creaking ladder and an old flashlight in hand, she ascended into the attic's stifling embrace. The air was thick with the scent of old books and forgotten dreams. As she rummaged through boxes filled with her children's childhood mementos and her husband's forgotten tools, her eyes fell upon a battered, nondescript box tucked away in the farthest corner. Curiosity got the better of her as she opened it, revealing a trove of letters. The paper was brittle, the ink faded, and the handwriting of another era entirely. These were letters from her ancestors, letters that spoke of lives lived long before her own. The first letter, dated 1892, bore the name of her great-great-grandfather, Samuel. It spoke of his journey westward during the gold rush, a quest for riches that had consumed him, yet ultimately led to naught. It was a quest for purpose in a land where fortunes were won and lost like gamblers' wagers. Another letter, written by her great-grandmother, Emily, in the midst of World War I, revealed her tireless efforts as a nurse on the battlefield. It told of the horror and the heroism she witnessed, the sacrifices made in the name of a greater cause. With each letter, Mary journeyed further into the past, encountering the voices of her ancestors. There was Eleanor, a suffragette who had fought for women's rights, and William, a struggling artist who had painted his soul onto canvases never seen by the world. Each letter told a story of dreams pursued and sometimes dashed, of love and loss, of triumphs and tragedies. The attic became her sanctuary, a place where she could lose herself in the lives of those who had come before her. She began to read the letters aloud, as if by doing so, she could bring the past back to life. She felt a connection, a bond, with these long-departed kin who had faced their own existential questions, their own quests for purpose. As the days turned into weeks, Mary found herself inspired by the stories of her ancestors. Their quests for purpose had shaped her family's history, and now, she realized, it was her turn to continue the journey. With newfound vigor, she began to write her own letters, chronicling her life and experiences, her hopes and dreams, for future generations to uncover. In the attic's dim light, Mary forged a bridge between the past and the present, between the voices of her ancestors and the words of her own heart. She discovered that purpose could be found not just in the grand adventures of life, but also in the quiet moments of reflection and connection. And as she closed the attic door, leaving behind the ghosts of the past, she knew that she had unearthed not just letters, but a deeper understanding of herself and her place in the tapestry of her family's history.